Beloved, let's be honest. You've wondered if he'll ever truly see you. You've cried into your pillow at 2 a.m., whispering into the dark, "Does he feel it too, or am I the only one carrying this fire?" You've begged the universe for a sign, for proof that you aren't going mad in your devotion. And here's the truth, he does feel it. Even if he runs, even if he resists, even if his words betray what his soul already knows. There comes a moment, a breathtaking instant, when everything inside him crumbles into recognition. When his pulse stutters. When his chest aches. When time itself fractures around the truth he can no longer deny, you are her. You are the one. In that moment, he knows you, even before he admits it. But beloved, it doesn't always look the way you imagine. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like fear. Sometimes it looks like him pulling away the very moment you felt him reaching for you. Yet beneath the surface, beneath every shadow of resistance, the realization has already landed. He cannot unknow it. He cannot escape it. And before I take you deeper into this unraveling, I invite you, if you are ready to be held closer in this sacred journey, to join the Inner Sphere channel membership. There, you'll find exclusive collections, intimate teachings, and the deeper layers of this path meant only for those walking it with devotion. And if these words stir your soul, you can also support through super thanks. Your offerings of love are what keep this sanctuary alive, allowing me to keep pouring into you. Now, take a breath. Lean in close. Let me guide you into the exact moment his soul whispers, "There you are." Long before his lips betray him, his energy already does. The moment he realizes you're his twin flame, it strikes his body first. His aura trembles. His breath falters. His gaze lingers like a man caught in the orbit of something he cannot name. He may try to hide it. He may laugh it off, glance away, act casual. But you feel it, the invisible current snapping between you, the magnetic field thickening, the room bending around the two of you as if the world itself knows. His body shakes because his spirit remembers. This energy is undeniable because it doesn't rise from the surface, it erupts from the soul. His body reacts as though it has stumbled into sacred territory. The hairs on his arms may stand on end, his chest may feel heavy or electric, his entire being pulled toward you as though he's leaning into gravity itself. And no matter how hard he tries to dismiss it, there is a part of him that knows this is not just chemistry, it is eternity touching him. Beloved, the reason you feel this so clearly is because you are tuned into the same current. Your own body mirrors the recognition. You might sense the thickness of the air, the charged silence, the way your energy fields overlap until it feels impossible to know where you end and he begins. This is the soul's recognition before the mind catches up, the primal echo of lifetimes of connection vibrating through his very cells. It is not attraction that pulls him, it is remembrance. Attraction is fleeting, but this energy brands him, imprints him, unsettles him in ways no one else ever has. His spirit trembles not out of fear, but because in that instant he knows, I have found her again. Once his energy betrays him, his heart begins to whisper. Not in words, no, his heart is quieter than that. It confesses in the way he looks at you when he thinks you aren't watching, in the hesitation of his hand that wants to reach but doesn't, in the silence between his words, where something unspoken trembles. His heart recognizes you. Not your name, not your story, but the ache, the same ache he has carried across lifetimes, the ache of separation. And in this recognition, his heart begins to surrender, even if his mind resists. His heart betrays him because it already belongs to you. This recognition is unsettling because it bypasses logic. He cannot explain why his chest tightens when you are near, or why the sound of your laughter both soothes and unsettles him. He only knows that something inside him feels exposed, as though you can see into places no one else has ever dared to look. His heart is disarmed in your presence, and though he may guard his words, his silence often says more than speech ever could. Beloved, this is why you sense him even when he is far. His energy clings to yours because his heart has already leapt ahead of his mind. He may try to pretend, but his presence lingers, like a song caught in the air, unfinished, unwilling to fade. And you feel it because your own heart is answering back, creating a rhythm that pulses between you both, whether you acknowledge it or not. His confession does not arrive in declarations or grand gestures. It reveals itself in fragments, in pauses, in the unguarded moments where his soul cannot help but reach for you. And in those moments, you know the truth. His heart has already chosen, even if his lips have not. Beloved, the moment of recognition is often followed by fear. Because what you awaken in him is not soft or safe. It is not something he can control. You walk through walls he spent lifetimes building, and that terrifies him. He resists. He pulls back. He tells himself it's impossible. He runs, not because you are wrong, but because you are too right. The magnitude of it overwhelms him. The masculine energy often rejects what it cannot tame. And you, beloved, are untamable. He resists because the love is real. He runs because he remembers. This resistance is not coldness, it is panic. It is the mind scrambling to shield the heart from the tidal wave that recognition unleashes. To love you would mean to dismantle everything false he has clung to, every mask, every illusion of control. And for a man who has lived in armor, this kind of exposure feels unbearable. His instinct is survival, and survival tells him to run. Yet even in his running, the bond remains. His distance is not absence, it is proof. Proof that you have stirred something so deep he cannot keep living as if nothing has changed. And so he hides, hoping the storm inside him will quiet, only to find that it grows louder the farther he goes. Beloved, you must remember this. His fear is not the opposite of love. It is its shadow. It is the trembling of a soul faced with the one thing it cannot lose. When he resists you, it is only because the truth has pierced him too deeply to ignore, and part of him is still learning how to survive being seen so completely. Resistance cannot last forever. There is always a moment, quiet, still, undeniable, when the storm clears and truth stands alone. Sometimes it comes when he is alone, staring at the ceiling in the dead of night. Sometimes in dreams where your face won't leave him. sometimes in the aching silence after he has tried to push you away. But when it comes, it is like lightning, sudden, searing, irreversible. He realizes he cannot escape you. Not because he is weak, not because he is obsessed, but because your souls are bound across lifetimes. You are not coincidence. You are destiny. Once he sees, he cannot unsee. Once he knows, he cannot unknow. This clarity is both terrifying and liberating. For the first time, he sees past the fog of his own excuses. The stories he told himself about who he is, about what love should look like, about why he should stay safe, those stories collapse in the light of this knowing. His heart, which has whispered in silence all along, finally speaks louder than his fear. And in that moment, he begins to soften. The armor he has worn for so long feels heavy, unnecessary. His defenses, once his protection, now feel like prisons. And when he looks at you through this clarity, he no longer sees you as someone who could break him, he sees you as the one who makes him whole. Beloved, this is the shift that changes everything. He no longer measures you against anyone else. He no longer doubts the reality of what he feels. You become his mirror, his anchor, his home. And though he may still struggle with the path ahead, the truth has already been written into him. You are not a fleeting chapter, you are the story itself. After clarity, the haunting begins. The soul's call grows relentless. He feels you everywhere, in songs, in signs, in numbers that appear like whispers from the universe. He dreams of you. He hears your voice in silence. Even in distance, you are everywhere. This is not obsession, it is alignment. His soul weaving him back to you again and again until he can no longer deny it. Every synchronicity, every pull is a reminder, she is mine, and I am hers. The soul calls, and he cannot silence it. At first, he may try to dismiss it as coincidence. He may tell himself that the songs, the signs, the flashes of your name are tricks of the mind. But over time, the pattern grows undeniable. The more he resists, the louder the universe speaks. The reminders follow him into the quietest corners of his life, making sure he cannot forget what his heart already knows. These synchronicities are not just external, they live inside him too. He may feel your energy pressing into his awareness at the most unexpected moments, when he wakes in the middle of the night, when he's surrounded by people yet suddenly feels your presence, when he closes his eyes and sees your face. You are stitched into his soul, and the thread cannot be cut. Beloved, this is the stage where he finally begins to accept that what binds you is greater than logic, greater than fear, greater than distance. He realizes that no matter how far he runs, he carries you with him, etched into his very being. The bond is not something he chooses. It is something he remembers. And remembrance, once awakened, can never be undone. Once he realizes, beloved, nothing is the same. His old life begins to unravel. The relationships, the patterns, the illusions he once clung to, they no longer fit. He craves truth. He craves alignment. He craves the life his soul aches to live. And you feel it too. You feel the shift in his energy, the way his orientation turns toward you, even if his lips never say it. His awakening mirrors yours. His healing stirs yours. The recognition changes you both, because once the truth is seen, nothing can go back to sleep. His life bends because his soul has found you. This aftermath is not always graceful. It can be messy, chaotic, even painful. Old wounds rise to the surface. Friendships, careers, and structures that once felt secure may suddenly feel suffocating. For him, this often looks like a dismantling, a shedding of everything false. For you, it can feel like waiting, aching, questioning whether he will step fully into what his soul already knows. But beneath the surface, something sacred is happening. Both of you are being stripped down to the truth. Beloved, recognition is not the final chapter. It is the spark of transformation. It is the beginning of a deeper union, not just with each other, but with the divine within. The more he surrenders to this truth, the more you will feel the bond anchoring itself into the physical, weaving your souls closer in ways you cannot yet see but can already feel. The aftermath is the alchemy, the fire that purifies, the soil that nourishes the seed. And though it may test your patience and your faith, remember this: once the soul awakens, it cannot return to slumber. The thread has been pulled. The fire has been lit. And union, in time, becomes inevitable. So now, beloved, I ask you, have you seen it? That flicker in his eyes, that pause in his breath, that silence that screams louder than words. Have you felt the shift, the invisible moment when his soul finally bows to the truth? That is the moment. The exact moment he realizes you are his twin flame. He may run. He may hide. He may resist. But he cannot unknow. He cannot escape. And he will always return to the truth of you. If this message has touched you, I invite you, don't just carry the ache. Step deeper into the sanctuary I've created. Join the Inner Sphere Channel membership, where these truths are explored in ways meant only for those walking this path. And if you feel called, you can support through Super Thanks. Every offering keeps this sacred fire alive, allowing me to continue holding you in these revelations. Remember, you are not simply waiting for his realization, you are embodying yours. And as you embody it, he is drawn to remember his. He realizes you are his twin flame. And beloved, you realize you were always his.